Hi. So today has been a very laid back day for me. I woke up this morning feeling very nauseous. Like my stomach just feels off, and that has thus led to a very chill day. Although this is not ideal, instead of ruminating on it, feeling like this sucks, like I don't want this to be happening, I choose to see it as an opportunity to slow down. Because honestly, lately I have been going so much. Like I've been doing so much and not resting enough, and whatever it is that is going on with my gut, I feel like there's a deeper wisdom in my system knowing that it's time for me to slow down. I need to pause. I need to come back home to myself because I've just been so outgoing lately and almost a bit too outgoing. Not that there's anything wrong with being outgoing, but I feel like there have been many moments these past few weeks where something in my system has told me that it's time to go home, it's time to rest, it's time to have some alone time, and I've pushed through that and just kept on going. I feel like when I don't respect the rhythm of my system and what it communicates to me, then if I don't choose rest is almost forced upon me, or I don't like the word force as much, but it is like something happens that makes me need to rest so that I can listen. These past couple of years in my life, I've been very introverted. I have spent a lot of time alone. And then just for some context, I went fully nomadic about a month ago, and I've been traveling, and I'm in Thailand right now. I'm in Pai, Thailand, and I really love it here. It's so beautiful. There's an amazing community of flow artists and circus and all of that, which I really enjoy. Being here has helped me expand my skills with rope dart and flexibility and other things that I enjoy. But I have just been very social and staying out every night, and I'm just tired. I'm just tired, and I feel like my system is calling for me to return back to itself, to take some time to be slow and soft. I am here listening to that. I've spent the whole day resting. As I was laying in bed, I was just really reflecting on how interesting and sometimes challenging it can be to hold so many different parts of yourself, so many different versions, especially when some of them I feel like contradict each other in a way. And I guess for more context, I'll just talk a little bit about my experience. There's so many different versions to me, I swear. Like, and it's all compiled into this like shape of me. And I've just been trying to find ways to not shame and shove to the side versions, but to find a way in which they can live more cohesively in harmony. As I've been here, what I've noticed is more play has been coming up for me, which is lovely because I feel like it's been something that's been missing a bit in my life. Some playfulness, like inner child like energy, and also like this teenage energy that I feel like I get into certain environments like spark that energy within me, and this place definitely has, which has been sweet. And also like, yeah, I feel like a little bit more of my like careless, reckless energy comes up while simultaneously existing with the part of me that does care a lot, that is intentional. I see the two of them like, you know, working within my system, but sometimes they feel like they contradict each other. Since I've been here, I have been smoking tobacco quite a bit, and honestly, this is something I've done here and there throughout my life. Like, I'm really grateful where I don't feel addicted to it. It's not something that's consistent in my life, but I have had phases where I'll smoke it, especially if I'm hanging out with people that smoke tobacco often. I enjoy it in ways, but I also don't love it, so it just feels contradicting. I used to smoke a lot of weed when I was growing up, so there is a part of me that loves smoking, and I like the social aspect to it, and then peel it back even more. I feel like it really is a bit of a social anxiety crutch, and I've just been noticing that because for the past couple years I haven't smoked pretty much at all, just a little bit here and there, and then I've just been so clean with my choices lately. And then I got out here and I've been hanging out with people that smoke tobacco, and I said fuck it and I've started smoking, and I just do it when I was out, you know, not alone, just socially. But lately my throat has been hurting, and I just feel that it's not supportive for my system, and it's just not, it doesn't feel aligned for me right now. Yeah, so I've pulled back on it this past week, and it's very easy for me not to smoke when I'm alone. But I noticed like last night I went to an event, and I haven't been smoking the past few days, but I started to notice myself feeling socially anxious and just really wanting to smoke to help soothe that, and I ended up doing it. And I really don't love when I give into those impulses that don't feel like they actually support me. Ultimately, they feel just like an avoidance. So I do feel a little bit not so stoked about that choice, but also having grace for my humanness. And I have learned to work with this part of myself for so much of my life, because there is a very reckless part to me. I've experienced a lot, and thankfully I'm in a phase where it's pretty chill now. I've chilled out a lot, but when I was younger, like with alcohol and just lots of things, I've been very like very wild, very extreme. Yeah, I've learned how to dance with this part of myself. And then now, just in reflection, there I noticed like a little bit of, I feel like I've passed this part of me, and now it's coming up. Like I thought I was over this, you know? And then I noticed that thought and give it grace for the way patterns work. And all I can do, instead of shaming it and feeling like, why did I do this? Because that is how I used to react. And then it just would keep me in a shame loop, and I'd keep falling back to the behavior. So I very clearly see that that doesn't help. So instead I just choose to infuse awareness into it and really recognize, to really understand what's going on, and to see it as it is, very clearly, as a social anxiety crutch. And in the future, in moments, to just notice it when it comes up, when the urge comes up, to really check in with myself and to be like, am I feeling socially anxious? Is this why I want to smoke? What can I do here to support myself? Can I be okay with this social anxiety? Is this anxiety indicating to me to shift my environment? Like what is being communicated here? Because whenever we use something as a crutch to avoid what we're feeling, we ignore, override a message that is trying to be communicated to us. You know, whether it's direct and the anxiety is telling us, hey, there's danger here, like leave the situation, or it may be more indirect, and it's something where we turn inward on ourselves and really see what this anxiety is triggering within ourselves. And maybe it's not something immediate within the actual environment, but it's something internal. And I always believe there's some sort of message there. So whenever we use something to avoid, we're really just robbing ourselves an opportunity to learn and to grow, and we keep ourselves stagnant. So with that understanding, I just infuse that into those situations to really bring light to it, and to allow myself to choose to respond, or I can react. But alas, here we are now, and although my stomach does hurt a bit, I feel really cozy with this opportunity to just rest, man. Just little nuggets of wisdom always planted throughout the day, throughout each moment, throughout this life. So I'm grateful for them, even if they can sometimes feel intense or challenging or undesired. I feel like even if something seems undesired on the surface, it's probably rerouting me to help me fulfill a deeper desire. Like if, for example, like rejection, like if I get rejected from a person, situation, like something just doesn't go as I initially wanted it to, it's probably some sort of rerouting. It's something that's allowing me to shift, to look deeper at what I actually want, you know. And while simultaneously holding that understanding, it's also important to not use that understanding as a blanket to cover up the feelings and emotions. So I feel like there's multiple parts. The understanding is so important, yes. And it's also important to feel the feelings, but to not get consumed by them, and to not allow them to knit narratives that don't actually hold truth. So instead, to feel the feelings, to allow them to pass, to distill the wisdom, the understanding from the situation, and then to use that understanding in the future situations when the pattern comes up, because it'll try to repeat. Like that's how life works, you know. Come on. And then we infuse that understanding, and then recognize the choice points that we have with that space that we now have from the understanding, and then we choose to respond, to take responsibility instead of reacting. And earlier I just laid here and I allowed myself to cry. I realized that I hadn't cried in a while, and I just started to feel the feels, you know, to allow myself to actually like drop into it. And I cried for a bit, and then it dissipated. The feelings passed. I didn't cling to them, and then I went to journal. I really appreciate that rhythm. It feels very supportive for me. So anywho, that's just a little bit of a ramble that I'm feeling, that's on my heart, that's on my mind right now, as I lay cozy in this bed and look at this tree and hear the birds chirp and feel that my stomach ache almost feels like it's dissipating a bit, honestly. Thank you for listening to my rambles. I appreciate it. And as always, my darlings, I really do want you to really recognize how fucking precious your energy is, bro. Like, sincerely, your energy is so precious. Like, so precious. And how you spend it and direct it, where you focus it, like, that's your life force. So that's super fucking powerful. So wherever you direct it is what you create more of. Just want to take a moment to remind you of this. And then with that, I recognize how precious your energy, your time is. Yeah, I really respect it and really don't take it lightly. Like, I appreciate you directing it towards towards what I'm sharing. It really means a lot to me. Thank you. And I hope you have a beautiful day, beautiful night, beautiful life. Oh, my stomach ache is back. It's saying hi. Okay, and now I'm gonna say goodbye.